It's tabletop time!
I'm Dave!
I'm Jen.
I'm Murray.
And I'm Rob.
And in today's video, we are going to be cataloging our entire miniature collection and making it digital for you guys to check out.
Yeah, we brought Rob in to use his expertise in the matter, and we're also going to make a little craft project to show off all the miniatures that we scan.
Yeah, that's right. We've partnered with Kiri and their new Kiri engine website, which has a bunch of new features that allow us to 3D scan. And yeah, we're going to see a bit of me working on that and put it together in a scene.
Cool. Well,
Awesome.
we've got a lot of things to scan.
Yeah.
Woo, let's get started. Go on, get out of here. And while they get started scanning, I want to share with you the context, the setting, the plan. Because of course, it wouldn't be a cool project if we didn't have some sweet Warhammer lore to do. But before I talk about that, I need to make this dramatic. Necrons are black with green lights, right?
Yeah. Unless we do Thoct.
Ah, with Necron trickery, I have appeared. If you're even passingly familiar with the worlds of Warhammer 40k, you'll probably be familiar with the character Trazyns the Infinite. He is the Necron cataloger of all history, who goes around the galaxy stealing characters, moments in time, literally entire armies, whatever he wants. So I had this idea. What if we could create Trazyns the Infinite's library, and not only physically, but then also make it an infinite collection that we could add to and fill out with as much stuff as possible? I think we have a shot at this, at not only expanding Trazyns' collection to include all the tabletop time minis, but also creating something that you at home can contribute to. So I'm gonna go and think about how exactly I'm gonna set about designing the Tomb World of Solemnness, while the others set about starting to scan some of our most popular models. This is gonna be a really cool project, and I'm keen to see where it goes. Let's do it. So if we're gonna catalog all our miniatures, we're taking the opportunity to basically clean out our cabinets and resort them. There's a lot of space, especially over in the big cabinet over there, that could have some permanent homes. But it's kind of fun to go through memory lane.
Got the original Bragg here. This was painted on my first day here, so...
Oh, we have to scan that.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
let's get it done.
Okay, he's going to be really interesting because he's got a lot of intricate detail. I have 200 photos to work with, and I want to try and get as much as possible of this spear. His tail is kind of wispy, even some of these things hanging down the bottom. So...
So the 3D scanning is going really well, but I think it's about time this project got physical. So I need to design the Tomb World of Solemnness, which is Trazyns the Infinite's tomb world. In Warhammer, Necrons are an ancient race of aliens who gave up their flesh long ago to turn into horrible soulless robots. After a cataclysmic war known as the War in Heaven, the Necrons decided to go into a slumber for 60 million years, and these tomb worlds are the homes that they went to sleep in. And Necron tomb worlds, kind of like the TARDIS, they're
smaller on the outside.
These are the masters of technology, dimension, time, and all that, so we've really got a lot to tackle. The plan is to scratch build a segment of the library that is tileable, so we can 3D scan it and then replicate it infinitely in a 3D space, which will allow people, including ourselves, to add the scanned models of our collection into a library you can then navigate.
So, Rob is hard at work using the Kiri engine, and we're here to explain to you how it works.
The Kiri engine app allows you to use any camera and nearly any phone to take photos of any object and upload it to their cloud. Your phone doesn't have to do any computing and it will not melt from this.
Oh wow, that sounds really interesting and really easy. Can you tell me more?
Sure can. The software is free to download and use, and free users have access to 3 exports a week. The engine is supported by both iOS and Android and allows you to export into any 3D editing software.
The Kiri engine is designed to use different adjustable poly counts. This means that if you want to 3D print your models, it's absolutely possible with the Kiri engine. You can also use the Kiri engine app wherever you like. This includes environments such as outdoors, indoors, darks, sunlit. The choices are endless. And if you're someone that uses a DSL camera, or maybe you have a 4K drone, you can even use this with the Kiri engine app.
Nice. But the team is always working on new features. Now available is the ability to plane cut through your model. Perhaps you want to remove it from the pedestal that you are filming it on. And then the software can also fill in these holes afterwards to make it as airtight as possible. Soon to come will be the ability for users to manually set up their camera parameters such as camera ISO, shutter speed, exposure, white balance, and all those sorts of settings, allowing you to get exactly the kind of finish on whatever you're scanning you want.
Hey guys, Kiri update their features so frequently that this is actually already available to premium users.
So a big thank you again to Kiri for sponsoring this video, and if you would like to check it out, all of the links are in the description down below. So this is the first bust I ever painted using the Copic markers instead.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun and it came out really vibrant and colourful. So I think this would be really awesome to try and scan.
Hell yeah. Alright, so I've never had the pleasure of moving this, so I'm going to see how painful it is for the first time.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened.
Just walk closer.
This is why I wanted to film all the painting first, because there was no promise this was going back together.
Yeah? You're about to catch on some powerboard. I want to climb!
Okay, get on the table.
Yeah!
Is the table gonna hold?
Yeah, it's rated for 400 kilos.
Cool. I'm like $3.99.
We wanted your weight, not your sale price.
Whoa! Nearly. Whoa. Oh, that cable is getting a bit taut.
That's it, we're on. We're good.
It is not happy.
We're 100% good.
We're good.
I help.
Cable is angry.
Bring me one clean Nurgle boy for Trazyns collection.
Got him.
Oh, God, he's sexy. Let's scan. I gotta say, I kind of like the cream space bears. I've always had a soft spot for them.
They're kinda cool.
They're just unique. You don't really see cream and red.
Original streaky grimies.
The first video on the channel, basically. I did like an 8-hour paint marathon, just smashing through these and almost went bald with stress.
It's good to know that nothing's changed in 2 years.
So I've come into the warehouse and I'm about to start making Trazyns Vault, and I know we have the perfect material to make it out of. Black foam core. Not only is the outside of this black, but also the inside, so it's going to be a really good basis for some Necron Tomb Worlds. So I've got a few considerations while I'm building this. Chiefly, it needs to feel Necron, it needs to feel obelisk-y or like a pyramid, but it also can't be extremely complex in geometry because it needs to be tileable across an infinite space.
Yeah, so you're going to go for lots of nice flat panels that are empty with just sort of a nice bit of heraldry sort of smack bang in the middle or some edging.
Yeah, that's the plan, but I definitely need to commit to a design where the sides are perfectly flush, which means I need to make it so that the pyramid shape is actually tiled. It's created when it's tiled. So to do that, I cut these at angles and I actually set up the top. So it's kind of like half of a square pyramid on each side, which looks a little bit odd.
You made an evil Toblerone.
Now, for most of the areas of trim, I used MDF, and it's really important when you're cutting MDF, especially with a saw, to wear a dust mask, as MDF particle fibers are not good for the lungs. I've covered up most of the foam with plasticard, which looks pretty good, nice and clean. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do to cap these top sections, but I need some Necron-y decoration, and the only way I think I can make that that's going to look smooth is, of course, by making my own pasta. Okay, it's cosplay. I'm gonna use clay and sculpt it.
What are we doing? What are we up to?
Murray's come in to help us build the roof.
Yay!
I'm working on a Necron faction logo, so I'm cutting out like a coffin shape, and I'm gonna sculpt the Necron logo, and then we can put that on the backside. And then it's painting time. Yay! So I found a really cool Necron font online, and I don't know what it says or what it's supposed to be, but it looked great. And I basically just copied random symbols out of that and sculpted them with the little ball stylus tool down the length of some nice strips of cosplay. I thought it would be important to show off the glory of the Necrons, so I sculpted a larger square panel with a sort of classic Necron sarcophagus logo on the front of it.
After the cosplay had all cured, it kind of reminded me of sheets of cookie dough for some reason, but we were going to glue these on the plinth anyway.
In the hobby, we call those kinds of things forbidden delights.
We arranged them onto the models sort of how you'd see banners in medieval castles hanging, sort of nicely arranged towards the top of them.
So I was happy that I was leaving my little Necron monolith in safe hands. Murray and Jen, you had a spray paint plan. How did that actually play out?
In my mind, I'm just thinking of sort of the hero approaching into the creepy vault of the evil lord. So I'm going to go for full drama. So I want a nice backlight and a strong top light. So to get a nice pop from all these sigils, I'm going to use the same technique that we used on our giant Necron models. I'm going to follow all the crevices that are going to glow with a white and then go over them again with a broader green. And this will just give this nice glowing effect.
It's really interesting seeing a model painted for a digital scan, because of course this isn't destined for the tabletop. It's a display plinth, but broadly it's really being designed for digital scanning in a digital environment. I wonder how the digital lighting is going to play off the lighting you paint on it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So it was time to take this into the digital world, and the only person who can do that is Rob. Rob, you're our man. If you can't do it, no one can.
Oh God, no pressure. So the first thing I did was I brought everything into Blender, all of my 3D scans, and started cleaning up a bit of the ground and the area around it that had been picked up, at least for the models that I hadn't been using the AI masking in. The AI masking automatically cuts it out, saved me a lot of time down the road. But the ones I didn't use it on, I needed to clean them up. So I brought things into Unity using the HD render pipeline, which I'm not super familiar with, but I wanted to give it a crack because I know it can give some really good results. So I was just playing around with some lighting and post-processing effects with one of the models I chucked in there as a bit of a play around to see if I could make it look nice and dynamic.
Well, it looks really good already, so I'm pretty excited for how this is going to turn out. This has gone from glass boxes to Necron looking very quickly. What's happened?
Well, it's really simple, Dave. I jumped to DALL-E 2 and generated a nice looking floor texture using an ancient alien term. If you look closely, you can still see the DALL-E watermark in there. I went through and added a bit of motion blur and a vignette, really dark around the edges. The most significant one was volumetric fog, so as things go away, it kind of fades off towards the distance. That way I can hide what I'm doing to give it a bit of a grander scale moving forward. I did the post-processing first so that I could get an idea of what our objects and plinth were going to look like as they should. Bringing it in straight away, it looked really nice, but I wanted to make it look even better. So I found a nice little asset on the Unity asset store of this force field effect, and I think that looked really good. You can make it pretty much any color. I settled on green because, you know, Necrons. I also added spawn points for the models, which are those little white diamonds. So what's going to happen is that this monolith is automatically going to pull one of my scan models into each of those things. So here you go. If I just click and drag on one of them, it should pop into existence. There you go. So it's already centered and it's already nice and well lit. So once everything was in place and I was happy with it, I decided to see if they would tile. So all I did was select the entire monolith as well as all the things I've added and simply duplicated it and shifted it over slightly. And bam, we've got 2 in a row. And then you repeat it ad nauseum until you get this.
This is super cool, and Kiri have actually set up a channel on their Discord for Trazyns collection. So if you click on the link in the description and download Kiri and make your own scans, we can all join the great collector and make a pretty ambitious library together. As always, we'd love to give a huge thank you to our patrons. Your support allows us to create 2 videos a week and keep you entertained with increasingly ambitious projects.
Well, I'm really happy with this project. I think it turned out well, but I think you'll all agree it's kind of more impressive when like infinitely spanned out in a digital space. Thank you very much, Rob, for all your hard work. I know you're exhausted because you've spent like 2 days just scanning and taking photos, which is tough.
It's with a lot.
And your digital environment looks amazing. I love the force field that you put in there.
Thank you.
Thanks once again to our sponsor, the Kiri engine and their new web app. Your technology was really cool for cataloging and bringing our stuff together. And if you'd like to catalog and bring your stuff together, check out their Discord where they have a special channel dedicated to Trazyns collection. The app is completely free and it'll be really cool to see all your creations out there. And with that said, I believe there is the company mandated pun that we need to end on.
Oh yeah, that's in the manual now.
It'd suck if Trazyn was a traitor.
No, that's not really how puns work.
It's time for us to catalog off.
Catalog,
done,
catalog
done.
off.
There we go.
Yeah, finish,
Catalog
yeah.
off.
We made it. Thank goodness.
Do like a digital. Is it like logging off a computer?